What's up? What's up? This is Steve Coleman, Stevie B at PTC, and we're here for another exciting episode of PTC Live. And today we have a very good friend of mine and a fantastic colleague, Miss Kris Burris. Kris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. I'm so excited to be here. Always a pleasure to hang out with you. Looking forward to talk about dual enrollment.
Absolutely. And for those of you who don't know, I think Kris just gave it away. She is director of dual enrollment. So here's the question. If you could earn college credit while you're still in high school, why wouldn't you? And that's exactly what Piedmont Technical College's dual enrollment program offers students an opportunity to do. And I have some personal disclosure. I've had two sons, both of them graduated from Greenwood High School, and both of them were dual enrolled students. My sons both took an average of, they both took combined more than 42 hours of dual enrollment credit. And my oldest son, who transferred to Charleston Southern University, rolled in there as a sophomore the day that he went to campus. So dual enrollment is a tremendous program that you're running, Kris. So tell us a little bit more about it. Who's eligible for dual enrollment?
Steve, I have to agree with it's an amazing program. And so dual enrollment is for high school juniors and seniors who want to get a jump start on their college education. One of the major benefits of participating in dual enrollment is that students are able to earn high school credit and college credit at the same time. The cost savings is phenomenal. So not only is that a benefit to the student, but I know parents appreciate and love that aspect. And then there are so many opportunities that allow our students to earn college credit and potentially graduate with a credential that will allow them to enter the workforce if they choose to right after high school. So if you're a high school junior or senior and you're interested in getting a jump start on your college education or even your career, this is for you.
Well, Kris, I tell you, with Piedmont Tech having campuses in 7 counties, Greenwood, Lawrence, Edgefield, Abbeville, McCormick, Newberry, and Saluda, we have dual enrollment students that are throughout our service district. Give us an idea of the number of students who are actually taking advantage of this tremendous opportunity to be a dual enrolled high school college student.
Well, last year, for fall 2019, we actually had 710 students participate. That's 10 districts, 26, 27 high schools. This summer alone, as of today, I think we have about 512 students who are already registered for fall. That's probably 60, 70% more than we had registered this time, same time in 2019. In addition to that, we have 59 students that we're currently working to get registered. So we are potentially looking at 10 to 15% increase in the number of dual enrollment students this upcoming semester.
Wow, that is an absolutely incredible number, and that is indicative of continued growth. And it's just a phenomenal program, as I've said, and you know, having so much experience with it and talking with students and parents throughout our service district, it's just it just, you know, we have programs like in McCormick and other places where students are graduating from high school and college, not college, but graduating from high school and actually,
and college.
And college at the same time.
Yes.
So when we start talking about dual enrollment and how to get involved and how to get started, there's some steps that students have to go through. And one of those steps is course placement. Tell us a little bit more about how course placement affects the dual enrollment process.
Okay. Well, I think when you think in terms of how do students get started, how are they able to enter this path, one of the first things we always share is that students need to speak with their school counselor, to their homeschool administrator, to ensure that this is the best path for them and to get approval to participate. Once that step is completed, and we receive all the required documents, and that's a birth certificate, high school registration form, we want to make sure that we're placing students in courses appropriately. All of our students have the opportunity to complete the AccuPlacer placement test for course placement. However, we do have other options that are available if students would want to exempt. For instance, some schools permit students to submit PSAT scores. We accept SAT, ACT scores, and we recently started using multiple measure, and that's just looking at their GPA as well as the grade they earned in the highest level of math that they've completed. And so they're so, it's an easy pathway. Once a student identifies this is what I would like to do, it's just a matter of just going step by step. It's all laid out on our website. We have wonderful forms that we send out. And so it's very straightforward.
Wow. I know my guys, my sons, they took English, they took math, they took art appreciation, they took some history courses, and then they took some other general education courses that were transferable to the institutions that they were interested in. What are some of the courses that are offered? I mean, I know I just named some of them. So much more that's available, and students have so many different options. Could you talk about those and maybe what's on the horizon?
Yeah, so you said it, there are a lot of general education courses that are offered for dual credit, where our high school juniors and seniors are able to take those. I think it's worth saying that sometimes they take it at a high school taught by the high school instructor, but the majority of our students actually come to one of our campuses and they take those courses, and we call them on deck. They're literally in a college course in a college classroom setting on one of our campuses, and it's taught by a Piedmont Tech instructor. So you have the general education courses that you mentioned, which is psychology, English, history, art, music, bios, math, all of those things that are available to students. What's interesting is that, beginning this year, not only we had a middle college in McCormick, and it has done so well, and most people are familiar with that. And a middle college is an opportunity for those students to start their junior year, earn 60 credit hours, and they're able to graduate with an associate's degree from Piedmont Technical College and their high school diploma, all at the same time. And that's pretty amazing. Now we will have 6 middle colleges or 6 districts participating in middle college for the 2021 academic year. So that's awesome. But we also have an array of career pathway opportunities. Earlier, I mentioned, if a student wants to earn a credential and go directly into the workforce, or if they want to earn a credential and these stackable credentials and continue to go until they get their associates, this is a great way for them to start. So we have mechatronics, welding, machine tool, HVAC, automotive, commercial arts, cybersecurity, healthcare quick start. I mean, there is something for every student. So, I think there was always at some point you think, oh, I can't participate in dual enrollment. Is it right for me? And the answer to that is yes. There is literally something for every student, from the student who says, I need to complete econ and government for my high school credit, but I also would like to take it, at Piedmont Tech. That's appropriate. You have the students who say, I'm not the best student when it comes to general education courses, but I love breaking things down and building them back up. And so you have all the career pathway opportunities. And so there's so many great things happening. And so we're excited that students will be able to take advantage of this.
Before I go to my next question, we've got a question that came through from someone that we're familiar with, and that used to be a member of the Piedmont Tech family, Miss Bonita Jenkins. And maybe Bonita wasn't on earlier, but Bonita is asking, does dual enrollment cost anything to the student?
That is an excellent question. So, when you said that great things are happening and this is a great opportunity and a great program, it's true. Because for students who are eligible, meaning you're a South Carolina resident and you're enrolled in at least 6 credit hours per semester, so that's basically 2 classes, those students are able to attend tuition free. So that is a huge cost savings. any student who chooses to take less than 6 credit hours, there's a flat rate of $150 per credit hour if they're taking those courses on our campus. And so a student who says, I just want to take 3 credit hours, then it's $450 plus a $30 fee, which again, and it's an amazing savings to that student and parent. But we really encourage students to take advantage of that cost savings aspect, enroll in at least 6 credit hours so that they will be able to attend tuition free. And so if a student's eligible for lottery tuition assistance, which basically means you've been a resident of South Carolina for 1 consecutive year, 6 credit hours per semester, then tuition free to the parent. There could be a cost for textbooks or some fee that's unique, like a testing fee or those types of things. But there's so many other opportunities out there, and some other advantages and grants for like some of our career pathway programs that we're able to cover some of those fees. So we do everything we can to make this cost effective.
I would challenge anyone that like you and myself who've sat across at the table and looked at the fees and costs of higher education with your daughter and my sons.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how much it costs.
but this is just such a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah.
So essentially, what we're saying is, and this is not a hypothetical. This, it may not work perfectly for everyone, but what we're saying is that by getting enrolled in a dual enrollment program, you can literally earn an associate's degree with our South Carolina four-year institutions, and walk into their campuses as a junior, and have taken care of 2 years of college credit for very, very little out of pocket.
That's correct.
That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Also, Kris, this whole thing you talked about earlier about the what I've called the technical program dual enrollment. That's a game changer, because in the past, it had been those students who were interested in they were going to transfer to go to Piedmont, or they're going directly into four-year institutions and study bachelor's degree and beyond programs. Yes. But now those students, and particularly with the growth of industry that's coming in our area, we have students now that are going to be absolutely ready for the workforce. Multiple disciplines right away.
That's true. Some of our students who participated in the manufacturing production technician certificate program, while they were in high school, were able to have internships. They were able to move from there and to get amazing jobs right after high school graduation. I mean, you're looking at students. I think we highlighted one of our machine tool students who's doing exceptionally well. These are just amazing and great opportunities. Everything right now, I think, is about, one, how can we save? How can we help students, help parents save funds? But also, how can we position people to be better able to continue their education or go directly into the workforce? We know there's a need for a highly trained, skilled workforce in our community, in our surrounding area. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying our best to make sure that those students are positioned to be as successful as they can be.
Sure. And I have to go back and tell you this. I spend quite a bit of time in McCormick. And, and this is why I'm so excited about the middle college experience being expanded to Newberry and Lawrence and Edgefield and Abbeville and McCormick, and Salute and other counties. Because when I go down to McCormick, here's what I'm seeing for all of you who are watching. McCormick has embraced this program to the extent that they have carved out an area within their high school, which is like the lounge and the study space and the just personal space for the students who are dual enrolled. They have a person that's designated, individual, Miss Valerie Arbo Jones has been that person that's been designated as their liaison. And they work very closely, and the county, McCormick County, has done an outstanding job of working with Piedmont Tech to provide transportation and do all of these other things to make sure that these opportunities are available to students. But the thing is that in talking to the students, the dual enrollment process has become a staple of pride for McCormick, because they understand that as a school, they've had quite a number of students who are graduating with their high school diploma and their 2-year degree concurrently.
Yes.
And it's a big deal for them. And not only a big deal for them, it's a big deal for the school board. It's a big deal for the community. It's just a tremendous thing that's taking place. And to see that replicated throughout all of our other communities is tremendous for Piedmont, and a testament to your program and your leadership.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. It's just what McCormick has been doing, what we're going to see in Lawrence, Newberry, with Greenwood 50, 51, and 52 is going to be awesome. McCormick actually will be busing their middle college students to the Greenwood campus. And so, that's the plan. Hopefully we will be able to see that happen soon, where they're going to start busing their students to the Greenwood campus, because just like Districts 50, Lawrence will be at Lawrence campus, Newberry at the Newberry campus, but they really want their students to be immersed into the college environment and college culture. You were talking about their academic success coach, and so I would be it would be horrible for me not to mention the wonderful staff that we have at Piedmont Tech who help out with dual enrollment, from our associate director, Dr. Brenda Edwards, to our new academic success coach, Ms. Tammy Haynes, and our administrative specialist, Catherine Carter. We have a wonderful team, but because we know the success that McCormick has seen with the academic success coach, the college felt it was important for us to invest in a position similar to that. And so bringing Ms. Tammy Haynes on board and having her be that academic success coach, calling students, speaking to students and parents, following up with instructors, providing support and connecting them to the resources and support systems they need to be successful, that's crucial and that's extremely important. So we're not just launching all of these initiatives and all of these programs without saying, what can we do to also ensure the success of our students? And so when people are thinking about sending their child or their children to Piedmont Tech for dual enrollment, they can feel really good about the fact that we care about their students and we want to make sure they're successful. And so we already have put things into to make sure that happens.
Well, I mean, it really is. It's the next thing then, because we can start about this and we run out of time, but the registration process for dual enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
For students that are interested, and for people now who are listening and saying, hey, I got to check this program out, what are the steps? What do you do? What has to go on for us to get people involved in dual enrollment?
Number one, students need to meet, if they have not already, they need to meet with their school counselor and discuss dual enrollment as an option and what courses they would like to take. During that meeting, they will be giving a high school registration form. So students will need to complete that and get the appropriate signatures and submit that to our office. They will need to submit a copy of their birth certificate. We talked about course placement and the things available, whether it's the AccuPlace or placement test, PSAT, SAT, ACT scores, or multiple measures. But, I think the very first thing, submit an online application. Start the process there, submit an online application, speak to your school counselor, submit the documentation, call our office if you have questions about advising. I'll put it out there, 8-4 by phone, WebEx. We'll do whatever we can to talk about what's available. I think the biggest thing is to let people know that now is the time to do it. Classes are filling up. There is just a great demand for dual enrollment this upcoming academic year. And so if you want to get in, now's the time.
Well, Kris, you mentioned your staff too, and they're
Yes.
wonderful people. They're wonderful people. Um, we know how busy you are. We know how busy you are. We know you're going to meetings and you're planning things,
Yeah.
and you're dealing with dollars and cents and other things. Um, Dr. Edwards, tell us a little bit more about Dr. Edwards, because obviously she's going to be someone that's a critical component for students, and many people will encounter her throughout this process.
Yes. So Dr. Edwards is our associate director. And so between the two of us, we're assigned, we talked about service areas. We're assigned different service areas. Dr. Edwards does our audits for our admissions applications. She coordinates our placement testing for us. She, along with myself and our other staff, we register our students ourselves. So our students are not able to self-register. We do that within our office. She provides advising as needed for our students. And so she is definitely an amazing resource. And she has been with the college for, I think, about 14, 15 years.
Yes.
And so not only is she knowledgeable about dual enrollment, she is able to talk about other areas of the college as well. And so if students have the opportunity or parents have the opportunity to speak with her, they will get probably one of the best customer service experience. I mean, she's one of the best people to talk to. You feel like you're at home immediately. And so she's just a great asset.
Right. And because I like to do this, to make sure that people know all the wonderful people that are parts of teams that work at Piedmont Tech. Now, Miss Tammy is off the chain. Tammy, it's really unique, and it's not unique, but it's great to see someone who is so passionate about what she does, and of course that emanates from the top, but your staff works with students that are traditionally younger than what we might see. I mean, you're not very old when you're walking to Piedmont Tech at 18 years of age, but sometimes it takes people have to have the opportunity and the ability to be able to transition students from high school to college at an earlier age than they might normally be accustomed to. And it seems like Tammy has just jumped in and has just done a tremendous job, and it was just made for what she's doing.
She really has. I tell you, Tammy and Brenda have the best personalities to work with our students and our parents. They love what they do. They're passionate, and they're so personable. And so that is the key, being able to build rapport, to have strong relationships, to be able to connect with our students in that way. And that's what we're seeing. Tammy joined us in November. We threw her in, and she is swimming. At this point, she might be doing some backstrokes. She is she's all in there. And so, and Catherine, our administrative specialist, she's come in and she handles the process for documents and getting students on our registration spreadsheets. And, it's, the staff that we have, the way we work, we're an amazing team. I'm super proud of them and what we've been able to accomplish and what we will continue to accomplish.
Well, it is without question, dual enrollment, one of the most amazing programs that we have at Piedmont Technical College, and it's continuing to grow, and it's going to continue to provide opportunities, expand the opportunities for students to have the high school and college experience. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about dual enrollment, about your program? Are there any plans being talked about that we can get a jump start on? And go ahead.
I was going to say I can't speak to future plans. Mum's the word. I don't want to spoil anything, but but what I will say is, we talked about the staff, the people who work directly with the students, but we can't do our job. We would not be able to pull this off. We would not be able to have the level of course offerings and opportunities without the other areas of the college. And so that is huge. I mean, from admissions to student records to the business office to our faculty and other staff, you know, we are a staff of 4, but we are a team of many.
Right.
And you know, our success is directly related to the support that we receive top down at the college, from the president to whomever else you can think of. Like it's you know, if we weren't a part of this PTC family, I don't know that you could be this successful. It's about the whole approach. It's about everyone working together, and that's what's made the difference.
Wow. And your knowledge of the college and the college process is just tremendous as well. And you've been with Piedmont Tech for how long?
This time, 2 years.
I didn't want to ask that because
about almost 2 years this go round. Yes.
In both situations, you were still heavily involved with creating partnership for Piedmont Tech.
Yes.
And we're just delighted to have you back. The things that you're doing can't possibly go unnoticed, but they are just tremendous. And we're very proud of our program. We're proud of you. We're proud of your staff. And, you know, when we start talking about things that are happening in our communities, we're talking about preparing our young people as early as possible for the transitions that they will have in life. And there's just no greater way to do that than to challenge them. I remember when I first started to hear about dual enrollment, one of my questions was, and here I am an educator for all these years, one of my questions was, wow, will students be able to, are they ready for this? Are students who are juniors in high school ready to take college level coursework? But I do recall that when I threw my own children out there to the wolves, to the dual enrollment, I was pleasantly surprised at not only the preparation that they got, but dual enrollment, really, I saw a growth in my young man. And I'm sure you see the same things in students. They just transform, and they really settle in, they accept the level of responsibility, and that is going to pay tremendous dividends down the line.
Yes. I think you know, the idea of them, their maturity level when they start and then when they finish, and they're able to transition as a high school graduate into college, or a high school / college graduate, and they continue their education, you can see that difference. One of the things we talk about within our team is just the importance of helping our students own that process, take responsibility for themselves, initiate communication with their instructors, you know, reach out to the appropriate services. We're there as a resource, but you also want to make sure they're doing that. Have you sent an email? Have you made a phone call? When you make the phone call, this is what you should do. Teaching them those skills, but also modeling what you would like to see them do as well. And so because of that, and because of the experience, and especially when they're able to be on one of our campuses, they grow so much maturity. They learn so many skills, just watching their soft skills develop and all of those things. So yeah, I mean, they come in as babies, but they definitely leave as amazing, wonderful adults. And so there's no doubt about that.
Oh, great. Well, Kris, I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today and sharing all this wonderful information about Piedmont Technical College's dual enrollment program. And again, to highlight one thing I want to make sure that our listeners know is that we're expanding Greenwood, Lawrence, Edgefield, Abbeville, McCormick, Newberry. We're going to have young high school college students. We need to come up with a term. We don't have to say high school college students. That's the next thing. There's got to be something that we can say that's just one word to describe those people. But Kris, thank you so much. I know that you're going to continue with the excellence that you've already started with this program, and we're looking forward to just tremendous stories coming out of our dual enrollment program.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to share. As always, you did not disappoint. This was a great conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's it for today. It's me, Stevie B at PTC, and we'll be coming to you again next week, same time, with another exciting show about opportunities available at Piedmont Technical College. Until then, be careful.